Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my video series on data science. Today we will walk through how to identify outliers using different techniques. So let's get started. What are outliers? Outliers are data points that differ significantly from the rest of the data. They can skew our analysis and lead to inaccurate conclusions if not handled properly. Outliers can arise due to variability in data, data entry errors, or actual anomalies. Imagine you are measuring the heights of people and most of the values are around 5.5 to 6 feet, but you get a data point that's 10 feet tall. That's clearly an outlier. Let's talk about skewness. It measures how asymmetrical the distribution of your data is. If your data has a positive skew, it means the tail is longer on the right, while negative skew means the tail is longer on the left. We can calculate the skewness using skew method. A skewness of 0 means your data is perfectly symmetrical. Higher positive values mean the data is skewed to the right, and the lower negative values means the data is skewed to the left. This skewness is caused by the outliers. Next, we will discuss how to detect the outliers. One of the most common methods to detect outliers is using the interquartile range. The IQR is the range between the first quartile and the third quartile. Any data point that falls below this boundary is considered as an outlier. Let me demonstrate how to implement the IQR method to detect outliers in Python. You can check the skewness of the numerical columns of dataset using the skew method. For this, you have to select only the numerical values from the data frame. You can use select dtypes function from the data frame and include the float and integer values. We can see the skewness. Some are highly skewed, some are slightly skewed, some are positive skewed, some are negative skewed. So we can have an idea about the distribution of different features in the dataset. In IQR method, a data point is considered as outlier if it is 1.5 times more than Q1 or Q3. Here we have calculated Q1 and Q3 of the life expectancy column. We will take difference of Q3 and Q1 and then we will get the IQR. We will calculate the lower and the upper bound. Lower bound is calculated as 1.5 times IQR subtracted from the Q1 and upper bound is calculated as 1.5 times the IQR added to Q3. Now we will filter only those values that are less than lower bound and greater than upper bound. At the end, we can print and see the values that are outliers. Another popular method to detect outliers is using the Z-score. A Z-score measures how many standard deviations a data point is from the mean. Typically, data point with a Z-score greater than 3 or less than -3 are considered outliers. Let's calculate Z-scores in Python and detect the outliers. To calculate the Z-score, first you have to import a library that is stats from SciPy. Then you can use this library to calculate the Z-score of a column of a data frame. But please make sure that there are no null values in that column. In this column there are none values, so I have filtered them out and selected only those values that are not null. Then we have applied the Z-score and taken the absolute that is greater than 3. So we have shortlisted all the values whose Z-score is greater than 3. We have printed the outliers and you can see that the Z-score method has identified 2 outliers. Once you identify the outliers, you can use the same methods that we discussed in the missing value sections to drop or impute the outliers. In this video, we explored the concept of outliers and how they can impact the data analysis. We covered 2 common methods to detect the outliers, the IQR method and the Z-score method. IQR method is robust to outliers because it does not assume a specific distribution, for example, normal distribution. so it is suitable for small datasets with skewness, whereas Z-score is not robust to skewed data as it assumes a normal distribution. Z-scores are preferred when the data is normally distributed and large datasets are involved. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and see you in the next video.